A warm welcome to you all for the second T20i between Bangladesh and India, live from Sylhet International Cricket Stadium, Bangladesh.
If I may now invite Nigar to toss the coin, please.
Heads is call.
Heads is the call.
It's tail.
Tails it is. Nigar, you've won the toss. So what is your decision and the reasoning behind it?
We like to bat first because seeing the condition, I think it's a pretty good wicket to bat on.
Bangladesh captain mentioned about the fact that they have to put up a better batting performance, winning the first T20I. As we look into the starting lineup for India, they've got one change as well. Looking at the future prospect for Bangladesh, the Asia Cup coming up, followed by the World Cup, which Bangladesh will be hosting. So they still are in the hunt to find a proper opening pair. Dilara Akhtar, 7 matches, 47 runs, strike rate that has to improve. But the 27, which is her highest score that she scored against Australia in the previous series, gave some glimpses of her talent. Murshida Khatun, on the other hand, very experienced. One of the experienced batters in the side, more than 700 runs under her belt. Recently had a great South Africa series as well away. But this right and left hand batting combination has to contend with the player of the match from the first T20I. As we go for the first ball.
Renuka Singh right on the dot. The batsman struggling a little bit. Was lucky enough not to hit the pad. And Renuka Singh was amongst the wickets.
It's got a slip in as well for Murshida. Pulled away. What a way to start. Over the top. First runs for Bangladesh. One bounce over the ropes. Moshad Ali Khan Shumon signals for a boundary.
Magnificent shot there. Dropped shot. Took full advantage of it and hoiked it through mid-wicket for a magnificent 4. Very confident shot. That's exactly what the openers in the dressing room would be looking for. A good start, confident start. Dilara Akhtar will have to make beautiful shot. Clips it off the pads, through backward square leg for 4. A very confident stroke there by the batter.
Pickup shots are really good to watch there. Dilara showing her prowess. Just picking it up off the legs. Renuka not bowling a good line, a good channel right from the start. We've seen a couple of deliveries onto the leg stump full. Just had to pick it over the infield. No fielders down there.
That is exactly what the batters need to do. Treat the ball the way it needs to be treated.
Her opening partner.
Magnificent shot coming down the wicket, seeing the ball, seeing the fielder within the circle, and that goes over the fielder's head for a well struck 4 from through mid-off. That was from Murshida Khatun, who looks equally confident there. Sweeps it and goes straight to the fielder at the backward square leg. Renuka Singh takes it gleefully, accepted by the fielder, and there goes Dilara.
A very risky shot. There were fielders in the boundary line. Deepti Sharma knew what she was doing. Dilara went for the sweep, this time in the air. Just couldn't clear the boundary. Went for the sweep, couldn't reach to the pitch of the ball. Caught the elevation but not the distance. An easy catch taken there from Renuka. Deepti Sharma marches on. Wicket number 115 in T20Is. She's a bit of an all-rounder.
And that was, I would say, not particularly steered through third man. Tried to play on the offside. Perhaps got a thick edge and went straight for 4. So 2 consecutive 4s for the batter there.
Found the gap. That was the important bit there. There were 2 fielders pretty close by, but that boundary should give. Beaten through the gate. Lucky for Murshida, the ball did not crash onto the stumps. Just a little bit of extra bounce there from Deepti. Murshida expecting the ball to turn, but it just went straight through. Brilliant variation from Deepti Sharma again, showing all her experience and class. Look at that guile, full, entice the batters. Renuka Singh not bowling well.
Driven powerfully through the covers, Shriyanka Patil puts in the chase, but gives it up because the ball will win the race this time around. Exquisitely timed by Shobhana Mostari, and she's looking to be in great nick in the second T20i. Shuffled across towards the off stump and bisected the infield with aplomb.
Yes, the lady from Rangpur, out in the north of Bangladesh, making her presence felt. It's not easy to pierce the infield when you have first ball of the final over of the power play. Not a lot of turn, cut well, finds the gap, goes for the boundary. Shobhana makes a good start to the over.
How good is she, as she's shown with finding those gaps. Again, a back foot shot there. She's proven to be quite effective both with her front foot as well as back foot play. Is continuously adding to her boundary tally.
Oh, that's a big appeal, and the dreaded finger goes up. Another wicket bites the dust. Shobhana Mostari this time. Shriyanka Patil strikes.
The off spinner showing just why she's rated so highly among the up and coming youngsters going around in international cricket. She imparts genuine drift, revolutions to the ball. This was much fuller. Tried to go for the sweep, would have gone on to hit off stump and middle. And out comes that celebration of hers. Her right arm usually goes up in celebration, her index finger pointing upwards. A valiant half century in the last game, though it did not amount to much given the dearth of support from the rest of the...
She's got the pace, she's got the shoulder power. It's past the keeper for a boundary. Streaky, but she gets it.
Murshida Khatun threw the kitchen sink at it, and it flew past the diving Richa Ghosh for a 4. Could not have kept that in her reach whatsoever.
Standing outside the popping crease, trying to negate the swing. On this occasion, finds another boundary, but we've seen quite a bit of boundaries coming just behind the wicket. Bangladesh scoring a lot from those.
Oh, there comes the short ball, pulled away, but it doesn't carry to Renuka Singh. The ploy was in place, wasn't it? But yes. Murshida Khatun survives. And Bangladesh will heave a sigh of relief because they need this left-hander to stay there in the middle. They've gotten a good start. They need to capitalize on it. A well-directed bouncer from Pooja Vastrakar. She
goes aerial but goes straight. Down. One bounce, second, few more. Will it win the race? It does. Desperate slide from the Indian skipper, but gets the boundary, does Murshida. She looks very good today.
Pick up the ball very well. She knows the fielder. Everyone in the long on and mid off is up. She knows the fielder and she hit very well over the mid on side.
Yeah, the key to that stroke was she went straight and both. Goes for the sweep outside the off. Given by Shatira Jakir JC. She was going for that premeditated stroke. Did pitch outside the off. Was the impact outside the off? Will be the only question remaining, Shubhana.
Big fish, I can say. Big player get out. And one of the best batter in the side. Oh, that looks very close. That looks planned to me.
Nigar Sultana Jyoti goes for 6. She's got a smile on her face, perhaps. There's a left-arm spinner bowling. I think after pitching the ball straightened a bit. Fahima Khatun one of the senior campaigners in the side. Was pulled. This is the close shout. And given back-to-back wickets. 2 wickets on the trot for Radha Yadav. Both like before.
Very good bowling by Radha again.
Yeah, looks pretty adjacent. Was looking to play across to perhaps nudge a single and get off the mark. She goes for naught, does Fahima Khatun, as Bangladesh lose their 4th.
Hat-trick in T20.
Dipti Sharma shot cover on a hat-trick. Full. Hit hard. Will get a boundary and gets off the mark. Sultana Khatun. We've got a contest here. Brave stroke from her.
Love the intent. Look at the pressure, how she handled it. That's unbelievable. Brave on her, of course.
It was pitched up. Slightly overcompensating. So it was in the slot for that stroke. But the key to that stroke was she went forward, front foot forward, and hit it hard. First T20i. Now that's aerial. Catch taken by Shefali Verma. And as they say, sometimes one gets two in the previous over. Now, another one. This time Sri Lanka gets one. Sultana going for the big heave, ends up giving her wicket away.
Yeah, that's the difference between Bangladeshi batter and Indian batter. When they get back-to-back wicket, they take someone and spending some times in the wicket. But if you saw here, unnecessary, I'm gonna say this time.
Yeah. She was trying to hit around the long on mid-wicket region, cow cornerish. But she was trying to hit it hard rather than timing the ball. Goes for 4 of 3, 69 for 5. The only change in the side today for Bangladesh, makes her way in.
That was glided down. That was a purposeful shot through third man. And that's 4 runs for Ritu Moni.
An expensive day out in the middle for Renuka Singh. 40 is what she's conceded without getting herself onto the wickets column. She bowls out. And Bangladesh
coming down the wicket and hitting it straight over the mid-off fielder's head for 4.
taking the attack to jersey number 31, Shriyanka Patil, who has been very frugal so far in her 2 overs leading into the third, came down the track and gave it a nice humpty. And the result is therefore the right-hander got a 4, did a pivotal figure in her journey so far.
Cuts, that was short, was needed to be hit and was hit, and that's 4 through point region. The fielder could have stopped it, but the ball beat her to the fence. 4 more runs to Murshida Khatun.
Started with a 4, and here too she will concede another boundary. Valiant effort by Dalan Hemalata, who did manage to reach the ball in time but wasn't able to intercept. However, with that kind of performance from Deepti Sharma, it looks highly unlikely, because the India off-spinner has added another wicket to her name with that dismissal of Ritu Moni's. She has been cleaned up.
I spoke a little early. That was a ball coming in and against an off-spinner. You're trying to cut it. You're trying to late cut that. That was the basic mistake I thought Ritu Moni did.
Who has been batting since what seems like eternity now.
Inside out, beautiful looking stroke, through covers, crunched it for 4.
Absolutely beautiful from Murshida. That's her trademark. She goes inside out. We've seen that on quite a few occasions. Takes her front feet out, goes through the covers, sometimes aerial. This time she caressed it. Well timed. The shot of a batter in form and quite set in the ground right now.
She looks so good when she is in the groove. Hails from Kushtia. Looking for the sweep. Good work by Richa Ghosh.
So over yielded just the 2 runs. As we look at the replay, looks like she's way down. Very quick glove work from Richa. And Rabia's stay at the wicket is done. She'll get the signal soon. Batters are still waiting. Subhana Mustari losing partner after partner. That could be another breakthrough in her last over. Murshida Khatun, the Lone Ranger from one end. Just making sure if it was a no ball, but no. It's all clean. Looks like she has to make the long walk back. So Rabia departs. She tried to build up a partnership there, but excellent glove work there behind the stumps. Rabia goes for 5 of 11. Bangladesh lose their 7th on 116.
Now bowling from the grandstand and she continues seeing the batter looking to come forward. She darted that one in. Goes full within the stumps. No problem for Nahida to get off the mark. Misfielding, they're going for the second. Could be trouble, is trouble. Desperate dive. I don't think the second run was on. As they sometimes say, do not take a run off a misfield. That's exactly what they do and pay the price.
Naida's still standing her ground. She wants confirmation, but from the looks of it, from real time, was an easy run-out opportunity taken by India. She was nowhere in the screen. Desperate dive, but the second run was never on. Just have a look at the situation there. She ran for the single. It was her call, so it was her responsibility. She ran into the danger end. Was a good pick up and throw from Radha. Got it on her right hand, and then a sharp throw onto the stumps. So Nahida's stay is short, just a single to add, and Bangladesh falling apart.
New batter, Marufa Akhtar. Well,
discipline.
Goes for the pull. Falls short of the fielder. You're thinking of coming back for the second. Could be another run out. It is Murshida. She called for it. She was going at the danger end. She looks back, but I think she's got only herself to blame because she did oblige. And she was going to the danger end. She had all the right to say no and refuse it. Got to feel sorry because she was on the verge of a half century, but what a throw.
Shriyanka Patil on that occasion, another suicidal run out. The innings falling apart for Bangladesh, and the one that was holding fort, Murshida Khatun, has to depart. So close to yet another T20i 50. She has to go for 46, 119 for 9.
Comes in. Bowled her. Bashundhara gets her first wicket of the match as Bangladesh are bowled out. What a last over she's bowled. Superb bowling.
Just the 2 runs and 2 wickets. Well deserved for Pooja Vastrakar. Just 16 runs coming from the last 4 overs and a pile of wickets along with it. So Bangladesh, the way they started, the innings fell apart. Faria Trishna goes for naught, holding out to Pooja. From the throws were accurate, and India would go off into the innings break, confident of chasing it down.
5 wickets.
The bowling card, very good looking one. Renuka Thakur, the only one who would not be happy. Economy rate of 10.
So this is how it stands after the first innings, where Murshida scored 49, Ritumoni got 18 and Shobhana Mustari got 15. But Radha Yadav was the pick of the bowlers, 3 for 19 of her 4 overs. Dipti Sharma, very influential, 2 for 14. and Bangladesh managed to score 119. And the target for India is 120 runs to win of their 20 overs to win the second T20i and increase their lead.
119 runs of their allocated 20 overs and were bowled out by the Indian attack, which comprised 5 bowlers. Murshida Khadun, the opener, was the standout batter for the hosts, making 46 of her 49 deliveries, was run out by Shankar Patil and Richa Ghosh. And it will be the India openers, Shefali Verma and Smriti Mandhana, who will be kicking off this chase of 120 as the visitors look to take another win, the second on the trot in this series. Bangladesh, for their part, will be trying their best with their bowling might, which is quite formidable, to defend this 119 they posted. In the previous match, after India had won the toss and opted to bat, they restricted the visiting side to 145. And with the variety that Bangladesh have in their bowling contingent, do not write them off just yet. There is a possibility this match could go down to the wire if Bangladesh's spin attack are able to replicate some of their mojo from the opening T20i. And this young woman you see on the screen right now, Marufa Akhtar, the teen bowling phenom they unearthed in recent years, who will open the attack from the media box end against left-hander Smriti Mandhana.
Smriti Mandhana tries to pull it. Short pitch delivery. Marufa Akhtar did well in the last match. She didn't complete a full quarter of 4 overs, ended up getting 2 wickets in the last over. And at one stage where India looked as if they would walk away with a total of 100 to 170 to 180 runs, but for the 2 spinners, Rabia Khan and Fahima Khatun, bowled in tandem to restrict India to below 150. Now we have a match on our hands. 120 apparently doesn't look too big, but I'm sure Marufa Akhtar and company will make life a little difficult for the Indians.
Over the wicket to the left-hander. Over the wicket to the right-hander as well. Straight down the leg side. There is an appeal and up goes the finger. Marufa Akhtar has struck. Shefali Verma shakes her head in disbelief. The Bangladesh contingent are rejoicing. This early wicket they have gotten thanks to Marufa Akhtar.
It would be interesting to see. There we see the replay. Shefali Verma tried to guide it down the leg side. Whether it got the bat or the pad, one would have to wait and see. But it's Shefali Verma who's walking back.
Over the wicket to the right-hander. It would be interesting to see that replay in slow motion of that Shefali Verma dismissal.
Marufa Akhtar again deep goes down the leg side for a wide. She needs to control her deliveries, needs to be on line, needs to bowl on target. 120 is not a big target to defend, but it has to be some disciplined bowling.
Hemalatha is playing her first T20i in nearly 19 months. Debuted in 2018. Has been deemed a longer formats player for the most part of her career, but showcased great hitting skills in the WPL recently. Driven towards the fielder at cover. Hemalatha has worked extensively on her range hitting ever since she was dropped from the Indian side. Her last match for India in the T20i format was very much in Sylhet during the 2022 Women's Asia Cup, which India won. She was part of that title-winning squad of India's.
Maruf Akhtar, that came in sharply. That was a beautiful delivery. Working on the seam, perhaps making good use of the whatever moisture that you may have on the pitch. Maruf Akhtar giving a bit of a thing to think about. There you go. A beautiful delivery that cut back and cut the batter in half.
That swung in prodigiously after pitching on the 6th stump. Wasn't able to read that inward movement. Dyalan Hemalata. She's still on a duck. Doesn't get off the mark yet. A bit of play and a miss going on here on the part of D. Hemalata after that dismissal of Shefali Verma's.
There has to be a bit of a moisture in the wicket, and we can see the bowler making good use of the whatever moisture that is. Prodigious, as you rightly said, prodigious movement that she's being able to extract out of this wicket. Very controlled, a very intent looking Maruf Akhtar.
Fuller outside the off stump again, driven to the fielder at mid-off without a run being conceded. After the first over, Bangladesh have the wicket of Shefali Verma for just 2 runs having been conceded. That looked like a not out from the outset. A slip is in place in the form of Fahima Khatun. Comes down the track and gives it a good charge. The ball is running away towards the 3rd boundary. Is nicely intercepted by Murshida Khatun. Keeps the ball in play. But Hemalata will get off the mark and pick up a couple.
These are instances where the Bangladeshi players can only gather experience from. 120 is obviously not much of a target to defend, but going by what Maruf Akhtar did in the first over, all the other bowlers should follow suit and try and make run getting a little difficult.
Nice, and middles it. Does it go all the way? It does. Dyalan Hemalata announces her comeback into the international cricket in the Indian side in style with that 6 after a 4 earlier in the over. She charged down the track and gave it a good humpty. Gets the maximum purchase with 6 runs.
Once again, pulled, but straight to the onside, long on field, only for a single. What Maruf Akhtar is doing, essentially, making sure she's not misdirecting the deliveries on the middle stump or outside the middle stump. Otherwise, in all likelihood, with the swing, with the movement, the batsman can
slashed at it, cut away, and another boundary she will get, deservedly so. Lots of power packed in that cut by Hemalata. Gets a nice little appreciation from her senior partner. She's galloped to 20 of 15 balls. Great transference of the weight on the back foot. The fielder at point had no answer.
Not a good delivery to begin with in the first over. Fariha Trishna has done well for herself, making her debut.
Full toss and played over the bowler's head and will pick up another 4. 1 bounce and off it went over the rope.
A full toss, the treatment it deserved. Fariha Trishna cannot afford to give those deliveries easily hittable, and as you can see, it was a straight back past the bowler hit for 4.
Hold that pose, Hemalata. Straight batted shots do not get any better than that, do they? A nice lunge forward and muscled it on the full for another 4 to her name.
Goes aerial, goes straight, launched up the runway, wings deployed for a maximum.
Massive Brutal from Hemlata. Moves on to 32. We all understand there is a tough competition for places in the India side with the World Cup coming up, with the Asia Cup coming up. She's making a big name for herself through this match and is carrying forward her women's Premier League form absolutely. And what a promotion she got at number 3, making full use of it within the power plays.
It's the second maximum for her. Full toss. Hits it through. Deep extra cover. 1 bounce for 4. 10 runs of 2 deliveries.
Bowlers being taken apart now. Naida still scratching her head, trying to think where she should pitch the next ball. As we look at the replay, flighted it, invited, but the ball did not fall to ground. Took it on the full toss. Just 1 bounce to the ropes. India fast moving forward, making best use of the power play and making the 120-run chase really small.
Absolutely, they've picked it up. Well, just makes me wonder if the dew factor, bit of a rain, is making the ball wet, harder for the spinners to grip. Flatter on drive, along the ground, straight to the fielder. But you mentioned, Parvez, regarding the high competition to make it to the India side. Jemima Rodriguez not here because of injury. That's where Yastika Bhatia came in at 3 in the first T20i, and now Hemlata. Dayalan Hemlata making the most of the opportunity she's got. Quick single taken. Overthrows covered up by Rabia.
She's played a brilliant knock here. Just the kind of knock that takes the wind out of the opposition. Bangladesh possess a very strong bowling lineup, but right now within the power play is being taken apart. Nahida, she's actually the highest wicket taker for Bangladesh in T20Is with 91 wickets. Doesn't have a particularly good record against India though. The last series, within 3 matches, she just took 2 wickets. She wasn't very successful in the first T20I as well, so pressure on her.
Yeah, thankfully, umpires making use of the full extension time, 1 hour extension time. After the rain, this is a good delivery. Well bowled. Onto the middle leg stump of Smriti Mandhana.
How often do you see Mandhana playing a secondary role in an innings? She maybe is used to it because her strike partner who got out of the first ball also hits the ball big within the power plays.
Nicely played. Oh, that's a cracking stroke. Class from Mandhana. Desperate effort. Superb commitment from Maruf Akhtar. No shortage of it when she's on the field. Definitely saving a couple of runs. Desperate need of a wicket, Bangladesh. Good shot, square drive. Good dive from Moshida Khatun. Again, saving a few runs. The commitment is there. We saw how Marufa was running in. Focus, concentration.
Absolutely. Just look at that dive. Brilliantly stopped. A 4. Maruf Akhtar coming in to bowl her 3rd over within the power plays. This has been a rarity. Jyoti seldom uses her for so many overs within the power play, but change in condition brings a change in ploy and tactics as well. Can we see a few droplets as well? Is the rain coming back?
Hopefully. It just avoids the stadium on his journey. With heavy clouds. Oh, what a cracking stroke. Wonderful shot from Hemlata. Another boundary.
Dealing in boundaries, scoring at the rate of knots. Hemlata, just look at the poise. Head still. Beautifully driven that. It was a half volley, waiting to be driven, but the way she found the gap was applaudable. Caressed it. Marufa disappointed, but she's giving it her all. There's bits of rainfall as well, as we can see the groundsman already ready with the covers. Not good signs here, Shamunnoy.
Certainly not, but just a bit full for me. Marufa, just a tad bit full. which is enabling the batter to come forward and play the stroke. But you mentioned the still head from Hemalatha. Good balance, firm core, and I think the rains picking up in pace. Yeah, and that will call for the covers. This will be the second time the rains interrupted, but India going at great guns. Run rate of 8.81. Bit of lightning taking snaps of the field. Well, nature, I'm sure we all love taking snaps, but we love the game of cricket also.
For more updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Download T Sports app to enjoy exciting games and highlights. Visit tsports.com.